With Valentine's Day just around the corner, Capital News talked to Dan Blay, owner of weeklyflowers.com, about what it's like to be a retailer in the floral industry today.
Well, unfortunately for florists, the wholesalers always find a way to justify why the price is either going up. So even though there's less tariffs and the Canadian dollar is much, much higher, we seem to be paying approximately the same price for our roses. I wish they were less expensive, but unfortunately they're not. So this is our self-serve cooler. Customers just walk in. And as you can see, we have a wide selection of flowers. It's actually been a very, very busy day. As you can see, a lot of the shelves are empty. We've had a very, very busy week. We have roses. Here we have long stem roses, quality Ecuadorian roses. Everything you see at this time of the year, all roses at this time of the year would be coming in from Colombia or Ecuador. I believe the local florist in Carp still has some local roses, which he sells himself from his location, and also maybe a couple of lilies that he's growing, white lilies in the wintertime. But he's not capable of growing enough to sell to us anyways in the wintertime. Well, it's very important to buy local because it supports your local retailers. You know, we employ people locally. Some of the times when you order flowers online, they can be shipped by box from outside of the city, which obviously doesn't support local retailers. And if you don't support if enough people don't support local retailers, those retailers could go out of business. Well, this is one of our trios that we have for Valentine's. These are Colombian roses. Well, roses are dry shipped, so they're bundled and they're cut. All flowers coming from South America are flown into Miami, and then from Miami they're flown up by plane to Ottawa. So I would say that surprisingly within 48 hours they're from the grower to the florist. And then what we do is when they arrive at the florist, what we have to do is they're dry packed, so we have to cut them properly and rehydrate them. And then we add a flower preservative to the water, and as they drink, they're back in business and they're good for 7 to 10 days. We actually for years made sure with our growers, and we used to have the information on our counters, but we deal with only reputable farms, and we would not support purchasing roses from any grower that's not. It's similar to the fair trade. I'm sure you've heard of the fair trade company. So we make sure that our suppliers are from reputable farmers. At the end of the day, it's up to the local retailers to run a good business, provide a good service or a good product at a reasonable price. And I think that if we do that, and the government is able to maintain a reasonable tax level, I think we will both do well. The government will do well, and it'll allow retailers to do well.